How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Alright, my fellow nerds, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Let me bring down the volume a little bit for the legendary Dieter music. Let me bring down the volume a little bit down here. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're here, we're locked, we're loaded, we're ready to talk about the market, all things market, all things stonks. Still in my little, vacation mindset, not really looking to go out there, do too much day trading, but managing my swing accounts, and the swing accounts are looking great, baby. Swing accounts are looking muito bueno. I think that's how you say it, but they're looking absolutely wonderful. Bitcoin's breaking out. Well, I shouldn't say breaking out. Bitcoin tried to break out all-time high today, had a nice little run up, but no follow through on that breakout. You could even say it didn't really break out. It tried to go through the 1200 area, 1200 area, and we did go up by 40 points depending on what market or what exchange you're looking at. Overall, I'd say it did not break out. Okay, we kind of went into 1200, we tickled 1200, and we're still around the area and waiting for that eventual breakout on Bitcoin. The last time Bitcoin broke out, you can see how explosive that breakout was to the upside, taking us above 100k, and this was right around last year November, so coming into very close to that territory. I'm not saying that it's gonna take us that long to have this eventual breakout, but we'll see if time is going to repeat itself. Is history going to repeat itself, and then eventually we'll get that nice breakout and an explosive move to maybe in the 150 160 area. But my price target, as you can see in the stream title today, I'm raising my price target for Bitcoin to 420,690. That's the price target for Bitcoin, baby. We're aiming for the moon at this point. All jokes aside, though, we're obviously gearing up for some sort of explosive move. Everyone and their grandma on Twitter was talking about cryptocurrency stocks and Bitcoin today. You even had small-time cryptocurrency stocks such as CleanSpark pushing back to the upside. Even the other mining companies such as Mara, Hut 8, Riot, all of them, joining the bandwagon over here and pushing back to the upside. Now that I actually take a look at Mara doesn't look too bad over there. Nice little reclaim of the 200-day moving average, a potential run up into $30 or so. A Bitcoin mining company who previously on their earnings report, if I remember correctly, reported growth of the numbers of Bitcoins generated. And Angry Buddha is not in the chat right now, but if he was, I'm sure Angry Buddha would be giving me some a couple anecdotes or pointers about how Mara's Bitcoin farming and ability to farm have been ramping up and doing better in general. So, something to potentially keep an eye on to expose yourself to cryptocurrencies. In my opinion, still the best option to do that would be IBIT, MSTR, Coinbase, instead of doing it with the crypto miners such as MARA and Hut 8 and so on. But always worth keeping an eye on, as the sector is currently looking to blast off into the stratosphere with Bitcoin leading the way. Couple points though that I saw on Twitter today is Bitcoin doesn't usually act as the one that's carrying the financial instruments. Usually it's Usually it's the markets such as QQQ, S&P 500. They are doing the heavy lifting, and then Bitcoin kind of follows through and acts as a secondary driver of the momentum, secondary driver of the bullish run. So right now is seeing Bitcoin kind of act like it wants to trigger that. It doesn't really sit well with me, or most of the people on Twitter. They're all expecting QQQ to maybe pull back a little bit, give us a 5% pullback on the QQQ, and then QQQ starts to blast off, and then that takes Bitcoin into the blast off territories. Let it be this week, let it be next week, let it be next month. Either way, with the current way the chart looks for Bitcoin, this is very much looking like a potential breakout opportunity. So, I know a lot of people have those viewing parties for NFL, for NHL, for NBA, for UFC. I wouldn't be doubting if people are now creating viewing parties to watch Bitcoin break through 112K and enjoying the run up that they've had. Some people have Bitcoin in the sub pennies, in the sub dollars ranges, and obviously they're gonna enjoy this run up as they're becoming millionaires and billionaires, and I shouldn't say trillionaires, but just because we're in the flow, we'll just say trillionaires too. So can't wait. I think a move tonight, overnight, or tomorrow would be awesome to partake in. IBIT, Coinbase, MSTR, MARA, all the names obviously on the watch, and we'll go through some of those plays tonight on the watch list. But I also want to quickly point out some of the stocks that we talked about last night. Some of the stocks we talked about last night on stream actually ended up making a move. So this is why you tune into your boy Praddy Daddy. Praddy Daddy gives you the best trades out there, the best levels out there that nobody else can, okay? Come on, who can tell you that FUTU is going to be the one to focus on the day before it moves? I wonder who did that. I wonder who told you watch FUTU because this one can be explosive. That's right, it was me. I told you to watch FUTU. And what did FUTU do today? Look at this bad boy. Boom, from $130 to $142 today. Isn't that simple? Just taking basic setups, taking basic trades. Life doesn't have to be too hard unless you make it. Look at that pullback on the stock. It first opens up higher, pulls back to 129. Oh, actually, gaps lower, and then goes through 130, builds a base at pretty much yesterday's high, around 130, around 132, gives you a beautiful opening range breakout long, and it just never stopped going higher for the rest of the day. never stopped going higher for the rest of the day. In fact, I might even I've been, like I said, I've been on a vacation. I've been taking a break over here, taking a nice little rest siesta from the market. Not really though, because you see me still talking about the market on stream to what, 3 viewers a day. You see me still charting every single day, even though I'm not actually actively pushing buttons. The point is, the setups. What was the point? I forget what the point is, because now I have to. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do some write-ups. That's what the point is. I'm gonna do some write-ups tonight because I haven't written up for all of this week so far. Taking a nice little time off. But trades like this one, trades like BMNR. We talked about this one yesterday too. Remember I said watch out for that 90 breakdown, but if it does break down, it's potentially going to be on SSR. Stock rejects from yesterday's VWAP, gives you a perfect breakdown around 92, and sells off to the downside for the rest of the day. There's a trader on Twitter, Steven Ducks. He made $10 million on the stock today. Okay? $10 million shorting the stock in one day. 8 figures in one day. So for those of you who are investors, I want to buy and hold stocks forever. Come on, tell me if you're able to do something like that, right? The glory is always for me in swing trading and in day trading. Investing has no glory for me at all. You can obviously make money investing, but it's just not my cup of tea. Because I feel like I can make 10 times more just by trading and swing trading than I can with day trading, especially if you have a smaller account. So FUTU, BMNR, I gotta put these one in my stocks to write up tonight. I want to show you guys also some other stocks from last night that we talked about, such as ANET. ANET making a nice blast off above that 103, 104 area. I tried to buy this on my own account. I did not manage to get any shares. I'll be honest, I tried to buy it around when the stock was at this high a day. But I was bidding at 105. I was expecting the stock to pull back into 105. I was bidding 105. This action right here, where the stock opens above the clean consolidation on the daily chart, breaks out, pulls back, finds support exactly above that line, and then goes into a higher day. Then you have a second chance scalp over here. So couple easy setups that the stock actually offers you to trade on the stock if you were looking to. Sadly, didn't get any fills on the name, and I might have missed out on some explosive move over here on ANET, but obviously still on watch. ALAB, another stock I mentioned last night. ALAB giving you that beautiful move up to $101. I actually took some long around 96, 97 or so. So I am now long ALAB, but willing to risk up to this low at 85. You're also getting the golden crossover, the 50-day moving average crossing the 200-day moving average. So potentially some excitement over here. It is a recent IPO, not that long of an IPO in the semiconductor sector. Once again, I don't have to say it every single day, but the semiconductor sector is very, very strong. Nvidia going above 162 now. So with Nvidia doing these type of things, with AMD going up higher, ALAB in the same sector with a beautiful chart like this, a volume spike today, trading above its 20-day moving average volume. Very excited to see if we can take advantage on the long side on this bad boy today. ALAB, take advantage of this stock on the long side on the swing trade, and also look for the advantage on this on the day trade. So the day trade would be somewhere above that little line that I have drawn. A couple other stocks that I had on my watch for high important priority. COHR didn't really blast off. ARKK did have that breakout today, and it's trying to start going higher. So that's ARKK going higher might be looked as a bearish signal, but obviously going higher is something to keep an eye on. Overall, those were the high priority names for me yesterday, and you know, 3 out of 4 names ended up moving, and they ended up moving really, really well. So watching more of those names for some day 2 opportunities, day 3 plays, and today's watch list is actually, or I should say tomorrow's watch list is actually a little bit bigger. So why don't we quickly zoom past through all the stocks on my watch list over here and see if we can find some trades, some levels to take advantage of. Joe Green in the house. Hey Prad, good show. Mara poised to move, moving past the January level. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, this little action over here is actually bullish, so I like the way these dogs are going insane. You guys hear these dogs? You guys hear these dogs? These dogs are going insane downstairs. Okay. Give me a second. Someone's at the door. The dogs are going nuts. Give me a second, chat. Jesus Christ, man, these dogs. Holy smokes. It's like no one's allowed to come to the door. Who's at my house? Who's at my house? Woof, 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 woof. Who's at my house? Who's at my house? The dog was just non-stop. Both of these, we're watching one of my friend's dogs, or my brother's friend's dogs, and both of these dogs are now in like competition as to who can scream louder every single day. It's like one dog goes, no, I can go louder. The other dog goes, no, 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 watch me do it. And they just keep going back and forth, back and forth. It is absolutely insane what these dogs are doing. But you gotta love them. You know, man's best friends, the dogs. Was someone breaking in? No, it's just the basement tenants came upstairs to grab their mail. So the dogs are going crazy because someone's at the door. Anyways, coming back to the market, you said Mara looking like it wants to go to the January levels. January of this year, I'm expecting. I wouldn't be doubting that at all. That looks very doable. Very, very doable. In fact, if Bitcoin actually ends up rallying, I wouldn't, you know, stop with the price target with only at $20. I think if Bitcoin keeps on rallying and finds a base above 112,000 eventually, Mara potentially will start finding a base above $20. So very, very worthy name to keep an eye on. But as I said earlier, if you are looking to expose yourself to cryptocurrency names, why wouldn't you just bother you know, look to trade Coinbase? Why wouldn't you just bother look to trade MicroStrategy? MicroStrategy has a much better chart than Mara does, right? So just a much better chart. The chart's clean. There's always, for the lack of a better word, idiots who love MicroStrategy to hold on to. So you know, we're gonna see those monkeys coming back into this name without a doubt. They don't care if they're getting diluted. They're still going to buy the name because they love Michael Saylor. It's like the GME cult, right? The GME cult is just going to pour right back in and try to squeeze this name back to the high side. And if that's an opportunity that I can take advantage in, I will for sure do that, and do that more in this name over Mara, because I think, you know, the squeeze, the move, the average daily range on MSTR compared to MARA. Well, MARA actually has a higher daily range, apparently. Higher daily range at 5.65%, whereas MSTR is at 3.68%. But I wouldn't be doubting that range will open up very quickly. That ATR will open up very quickly when the stock starts to break out along with Bitcoin. This could easily start going into $500,000, $600,000 if Bitcoin starts to go absolutely crazy. You've seen the last time it went parabolic, how nuts it went. So for sure want to be involved in that one, and I am doing that using leverage ETFs such as MSTU. So I'm currently long MSTU. You can also do that with MSTY. The only downside with MSTY compared to MSTU is MSTU does a lot more volume, and MSTY actually has a dividend. So the downside is not really a downside, but for me it's kind of more of a downside because MSTY will not have the same explosive move that that MicroStrategy might. I don't think even MSTR has a dividend, but MSTY pays a dividend, right? So it's just like not the best instrument to park your money in if you're looking for that explosive Bitcoin rally. Coming off of the Bitcoin moves though, and talking through my watch list for tomorrow, quickly starting at the top of the watch list, FUTU, big explosive move today without a doubt, but does it continue is the main question. I think you got to keep an eye on the other Chinese stocks. For example, Baba got a downgrade today. They are now pushing below the 200-day moving average. Not what you want to see if you are a big Baba lover. If you are a big China lover, you do not want to see Baba going below the 200-day moving average, and more importantly, you do not want to see Baba getting below $100. If it starts to look weak below 100, that might be more downside opening up. Just that even psychological level 100, you want to see the stock at least respecting that after giving up the 200-day and then reclaiming the 200-day. But that does not look like the story for this stock at the moment. Looks like we're gonna see some some weighing to the downside, especially with the whole tariff deal, especially if the China news doesn't play out. So you gotta watch other Chinese stocks. FXI is another good name to keep an eye on. FUTU, however, is a tech name. I think this is a broker. Yes, finance broker. So this is not really that highly affected with the tariffs. It's not affected with the other geopolitical tensions and so on. So FUTU, the tech name, the broker name, kind of in its own secular basket in the China basket. So obviously worth watching for possible more continuation, especially if the stock is able to find buying. Is this my indicator? It is. Why is there no halfway marker for today? Oh, that's pretty surprising. Either way, you might want to figure out where today's halfway marker is, because I would think that is significant. I think it's because the volume bar is not 2 times greater than yesterday's volume bar, and that's why the halfway marker is not being displayed for this candle at the moment. But this is a significant candle. You can see how it's 2 times the height of the previous bar. The volume is also elevating. The yellow candle of this volume candle means that the relative volume was higher than it was previously. So clearly in play candle. So halfway of this candle is where I would want to see buyers coming in and respecting. If we just round down the high to 140 and round up the low to 130, the halfway point is 135. So somewhere around 135, somewhere around today's VWAP on the 5-minute chart, whatever today's VWAP is, 138. I would think 138 is a little too high, but if the stock is holding 138, it could very easily have another big move above today's high tomorrow. But I would think 138 is a bit too high for a VWAP. Potentially the stock does pull back to 135 and then it goes back into today's high and closes around today's high after a bounce from 135. So that's something that's the permutation that I'm seeing. But in that permutation where it actually bounces from 138.50, that would be insane, because that makes the stock way more in play for me. So I'm just gonna put down at the moment inflection level 138.50 to see how it plays out. But my main support area, my ideal support area, around 135 to 135.50. If that support shows up over there and the stock is able to find buying, I am interested to see if we can find a long there. Baba, not really important for a day trade at the moment. or for a swing trade, because I don't short stocks for the swing account. I can't short stocks on the swing account. I'm on a cash account. I'm not on a margin account, so I can't do much over there. But if you are interested for a swing trade on BABA, if BABA starts to look weak below today's low and weak below 100, that could be a short there. But I don't see BABA closing below 100 tomorrow, right? This stock has a 1.79 ADR, an average true range of around like 3% or $3, sorry, ATR of $3. I don't think we see it breaking below 100 tomorrow. So if we do get a short opportunity from 104 to 100, I think the stock holds 100, and then you get a long off of 100. Anyways, though this is all like a more minute detail as to where to look for a trade when the stock goes into 100. I think the overall idea is, if buyers are holding 100, there's a long there. If the buyers are not holding 100, there's a short there for the day trade side. So I'll be watching to see how the stock reacts to that important level, and potentially you could get a day trade below today's low into the $100 area. Here's a more important Chinese stock for me than any of the other Chinese names. That's JD. Look at this perfect, beautiful daily chart bouncy ball setup coming into play on JD over here today. I guess going into tomorrow, not today. Potentially a breakout tomorrow or the next few days. Once we do get below 31.30 and start looking weak below 31.30, you could even say weak below actually $31, because I'm expecting some size to be at 31. So if the stock starts to look weak below 31 tomorrow, let's say we gap down, we open below 31 and the stock is not able to reclaim 31, easy short for me from there on out. It's just a no-brainer short, shorting every single pop without a doubt. But if the stock is able to reclaim 31, I would expect that it's easily going to reclaim 31.30 and then going back into the previous ranges that it was just at, because that looks like a failed breakdown. So 31.30 JD, high priority name. Whenever this opportunity sets up, might even be good idea to throw in some alerts. Hello? Where's the plus marker? Oh, there you go. Oh, because I'm drawing dots on my chart. Okay. Throw in the plus marker for JD, Jack Daniels, right around that low. A little bit above that low, please, so I can get alerted when that happens. Right here would be perfect. Thank you. Okay, so Jack Daniels, JD, it's not Jack Daniels, but JD Jack Daniels, watching this one for a bouncy ball setup. Shout out to your boy Lance. Lance setup over here. Higher low, lower high. Sorry, not higher low. Same low, same low, same low, but lower high, lower high, lower high, and eventually that thing breaks the floor and goes straight through it. So watching JD for a possible short, and FXI is just the Chinese ETF. If this continues to look weak, which it was today, that just makes the JD short even better. I did scan for Pinduoduo and Baidu, and I didn't really like what I saw there at all. There is no volume. There is no real catalyst or a trade idea. So not worth watching those two names in my opinion. There is no catalyst or trade idea for JD. Sorry, I should say no real catalyst for JD, but there is a very, very clean setup and trade idea for JD playing out. So hence this one makes it to the watch list, and BABA obviously because of the downgrade is on the watch list. Continuing down the watch list over here, SOUN. Don't think it was in play today, but obviously watching to see if there's continuation above today's high / yesterday's high around 1350 for an even big explosive move to the upside. So SOUN might be something to keep an eye on. This would be your 3-bar play above 1350 if it does get above it. SoFi, not a day trade. This is more something to keep an eye on for my swing account. At the moment, going crazy. This is the first time in a very long time that SoFi has gotten up to $20 area. In fact, let me head over to Twitter really quick and try to find that tweet. that I'm trying to quote. So data-driven investing. He tweeted out, this guy tweets out SoFi all day non-stop, okay? So everything I learned from about SoFi is through this guy. Where is this tweet? Right here. SoFi closed over $20. The last time that happened was on November 19th of 2021. We are now getting close to some pretty big milestones. SoFi's highest close ever, $23.29. SoFi's all-time high, $24.65. Before the SPAC merger, it traded as IPOE. IPOE's highest close was $25.78. IPOE's all-time high was $28.26. So ideally, anywhere from $25 to $30, you could have some barriers on SoFi coming into play. But if SoFi starts to trade above these barriers, you have clear blue skies on what was once touted as one of the big revolutionary name to finance and a big stock to invest in and so on. Obviously it got the Palantir treatment, which got pushed down after IPO. A lot of stocks got the Palantir treatment, which they got pushed down after IPO thanks to COVID and all other extracurricular activities. I'm not even sure that's the way to say it, but all other reasons on the outside that doesn't really relate to the stock overall. We can see how just continuous good report, a little bad report, but good report. Somewhere around these reports right here, they started making profit and actually having a turnaround on their books. So that's why you're seeing the stock go a little crazy. Now, once we do go to 28 and 30 and start building a base above 30, this would be another Palantir treatment. So right here, you can see how Palantir, before going into 200s, struggled at that 45 area right here, and then it broke out and it never looked back. That's what I'm expecting SoFi to do for my swing account. Obviously, we'll see if it sets up that way. Right now, as we are pushing higher, I am getting ready to deleverage, de-risk, take some profits, and make my money, baby. Get paid for me being in that name for so goddamn long, like 3-4 years long. Intel, not worth even talking about, so I'm gonna move past Intel. QuantumScape, again, another day up to the north side, but as expected, it did close below yesterday's high, which was very expected. I think I told you guys yesterday, I want to see a couple days back and forth above $8 or above 777. Ooh, nice number over there. Above 777 on QuantumScape, above $8 on QuantumScape. The longer the base, well, maybe not longer, a couple days of base around $7-8, around $8 would be ideal. So QuantumScape for a day trade, I'm not really gonna keep a close eye on that one. I'm gonna move past it. CoreWeave looking like it's getting ready for that breakdown. 148 is your key level. Once again, 150, right? Look at today's low, 149.70, 150. If the stock is not able to hold below 150, there is no short. But right now, with the way we're playing out over here, that 150 breakdown, 149 breakdown is going to be a trade that you have to watch. 148.75/150 area for CoreWeave. If that area breaks, I am all systems go for the short trade. Circle, no trade over here for me at the moment. Like I said, way too spready. Liquidity is going down, volume is going down, insane price. I'm not interested to do anything on that one. Not for the swing, not for the day. There were trades before on it that I obviously messed up, so I don't want to even try to FOMO my way into a trade over there and end up having a bad trade. So moving on from Circle for the time being until a better setup shows up. Uber, no day trade at the moment. Swing trade, maybe there could be something. We'll just have to wait for it. Robinhood, nice base forming. This is exactly what I want to see on QuantumScape, right? So Robinhood, you can see how that day's midpoint is holding really well. The 9-day moving average is catching up with this little box with this nice little tight flag. Once we get the flag breakout above $100, potentially never looking back again on Robinhood. Very similar to that Palantir treatment, a little box before its all-time high that it created around IPO, and then pew, blast off, right? So we'll see if that's an opportunity for us to be involved in. I'm still holding my Robinhood shares from $66 average, so loving it. I'm loving it. So watching how this one plays out. As for the day trade, I think there is nothing really there for the day trade right now. You gotta wait for until we get above 100 or so. For the swing trade, you can try to snag some shares over here and put your hard stop below this day's low around 85 or around the 21-day moving average, because it hasn't really tested the 21-day since what, this earnings report over here, since May 2025. So beautiful strength on the 9-day moving average at the moment on Robinhood. For the swing, I'm just cooling off my jets for the day trade. There's nothing to do for me. IBIT, I don't need to talk about it again. You guys know what to do on that side. Wait for Bitcoin to break out and enjoy the ride, baby. 6370/64. That's the level to keep an eye on for IBIT. Coinbase, I hate the stock, I hate the company, I hate everything they stand for. But when the chart shows you a trade, what the hell was that buzz? Why does my phone keep buzzing? I'm updating my phone, but my phone keeps making random buzzes. Anyways, Coinbase, you know, that's not going to stop me from making money if the stock actually has a breakout above 382 and has an insane rally above 400 into all-time high of 429 and so on. So, you know, got to put your bias aside, got to put your hate aside and trade the damn trade. So watching Coinbase without a doubt for a possible 382 trade opportunity over there. MicroStrategy getting back above 400. So as long as MicroStrategy stays above 400 on the pullbacks tomorrow, there's a long over there. That is your key significant price point to keep an eye on. ARKK 72, 71.27. Let's just say 71.50 to 71.30. So 71.30 to 71.50 is ideally where you want to see the stock hold on pullbacks. With the way Coinbase is going, with the way most of the stocks in ARKK end up going, let's try to create a new tab over here. That's not what I want to do. In the trading tab, I want to create what am I looking for? What am I looking for, chat? Oh yeah, ETF.com. Tesla, Coinbase. So even with Tesla not doing great at the moment, you can... Come on, really? You're gonna do this now? You didn't do this before. Get this bullshit out of here. You're gonna make me create an account on ETF.com now? We're gonna very quickly walk away from ETF.com then and just head over to our good friends at the Perplexity Finance, since we already pay for this awesome tool. Let's type in, what are the holdings of ARKK ETF? And that should give us a quick little answer for me where I don't have to do the research anymore. See, man, AI is the best. Mwah. So Tesla, even with Tesla not doing so well, with Tesla being 9.9% of their portfolio overall, they're still having that breakout opportunity. Why? So we got to figure out. Coinbase, obviously that's an answer. Is Roku part of the move over here? Let's go check out Roku. Oh my god, Roku looks like a possible breakout. So possible breakout on Roku above $90 could give you a trade to be involved in. So gotta set your alerts over there. So, you know, things like this. This is what homework is all about. If you are not doing your research, not doing your homework, you're gonna miss out on things like this. So is Roku breaking out? I don't even need to look to see if Roblox is breaking out because I know Roblox is going crazy. I've been following Roblox from $60, watching it go nuts into $100. So, you know, I already know Roblox is doing really well. Speaking of which, though, if there's a possible short setup, it opens up below $100. RBLX is going nuts. CRISPR, that's another name that's going nuts. Circle, we don't even need to show you the chart. You guys know what Circle looks like. Tempest AI, Palantir, ACHR, she's also in the drone sector. Beam, Amazon, I bought more shares of Amazon today. She owns GitLab, okay. GTLB, okay, I see you. Nvidia, really? You have the same amount of portfolio allotment portfolio weight for Nvidia and GitLab? In fact, you give Nvidia less weight than GitLab? What's wrong with you, Kathy Wood? But hey, she got billions of dollars to trade with and I don't, so clearly she's doing something right. Anyways, coming back to the overall idea that ARKK is breaking out because the stocks in the portfolio are breaking out, you can either directly watch the stocks in said portfolio or you can watch the portfolio itself and trade it on ARKK, the ticker. So that one's worth keeping an eye on. ANET had a breakout today above 103.50, so today's VWAP potentially worth watching. There wasn't like a news catalyst breakout on this name, so I wouldn't say that this is like a high priority name out there. This might be even just a swing trade more than a day trade. So if the stock pulls back tomorrow, I'm praying it does, and it has some buying above what is it, 103.50, has some buying above 103 after pulling back. I'm expecting the pullback to be above 105 even if it does pull back, to give me some buying opportunity over there. So ANET on watch. COHR had somewhat of a failed breakout. It tried to go above 91.80 but then failed, and very light on volume 2, so worth watching but not really the highest priority name out there. Palantir getting back up to the north side, we talked about that a little bit, but I'm just waiting to see how the stock trades at 150. I don't think I'll be interested to try and join Palantir again, because every time I tried to join Palantir, I just got burnt in this area. So I'm just gonna kind of let this one go for the swing trade. For the day trade, obviously, when an opportunity shows up, I'll be the first one to tell you and talk about it for us. So right now, I just don't see anything over there. Microsoft, MSFT, finally breaking above the 500. We talked about this last night on stream. Told you to look for the long through 500, and that long looked very easy, right? Beautiful long straight through the opening drive, all the way up to 505, 506, even pulled back into 500 and bounced right off the 500. So there's a long in this area too if you were interested for that move back into VWAP. So Microsoft had a pretty good move over there today to be involved in. And the longer it stays above 500, the easier the long trades will be for the day trades. I am not interested in buying Microsoft at these prices at all-time high for the swing account. I'm just not interested for that one. I think there's better names that I could put myself into. Just not cared about that one at all. But for the day trade, 500 plus, if you're holding above 500, I'm only looking long. I am not looking short on this name if you're giving me dips and the dips are above 500. Nvidia, GSAT, not a high priority name. GSAT, sorry, not being a high priority name for the day trade, but for the swing trade, it is a high priority name. Would love to see a pullback on that one. Nvidia is always a high priority name for the day trade, and I also have this on the swing from like 140 area. So enjoying the ride at the moment, holding the 9-day moving average clearly until we break the 9-day. I don't have to worry about it. So my stop is basically 9-day, trailing the 9-day, and then I'll trail the 21-day, and then I'll be done with the trade. I don't have to worry about the trade at all after that one. And for the day trade, you know, every new high that the stock makes above previous day highs, the easier the long is if we're able to create a base above the high. For example, yesterday's high was 160, let's just say 161. Okay, yesterday's high was 161. If you are able to create a base above 161 like you did today over here, it's an easy long for me. So just look to buy the dips and then sell the rips. Buy the dips, sell the rips. As long as you're finding buyers coming in at a new high. This is a new all-time high, and you're seeing buyers coming in and saying, yes, we think Nvidia is a good buy at 162.50, even though the market's at all-time high and the stock just made a run from $86 to $160. Yes, we think Nvidia deserves to be a buy here and could go higher. If they think that, you know what? I'm the small fish. I'll come in and I'll join the trend gladly. Okay, so it's as easy as that on that name for me. Why do I have Nvidia twice and Microsoft twice? So let's delete that one over there. Let's delete that one over there. ALAB, I think it's getting ready for that possible breakout above 101, 102. So a high priority name in case it does give you that breakout tomorrow. The price is 101.82, 102 area. I think the key price is really 100. If we're holding above 100 on the dips tomorrow, it's all systems go on that stock for the long side. Datadog potentially giving you that gap fill short that I was talking about. If it's weak below 142 tomorrow, I think Datadog opens up some room to the downside for the short for a gap fill. Boeing had a nice breakout today, going into $230. So watching Boeing for some, ooh, that's actually a really good breakout on Boeing if you look at it. Going into that high and basically struggled around that high for a couple days, and then breaking out of that area into the north side. So ideally today's midpoint, today's VWAP, let's say 225, right? If today's VWAP 225 or so, Boeing is able to find buying above it, might be worth watching for a day trade, and could be worth looking to snag some shares for the swing trade too. But knowing Boeing and how easily planes fall out of the sky, you might want to be careful with how much size you want to put to this trade over here on the swing side, because it's literally one plane falling out of the sky to make Boeing go down again. So you want to be careful with your risk allotment on that side. HIMS is looking like a possible, let me just put in 220 on Boeing over here for some support. I'm expecting Boeing 220 to be support, and as long as it's finding buying above it, I'll be watching it for some swings and day trades. HIMS looks like it wants to get back above the 5120, 5150 area. Let's just say 52 because that was today's high. So 52.33, 52. If HIMS starts to get back above these little double top high, I think we potentially have some sort of a move back up into these ranges. Once again though, low volume. No real catalyst. I think the catalyst was that HIMS is going to now look to get into Canada. So yay, now I can finally fix my ED problem. I'm joking, I don't have ED, it was a joke. But HIMS, you know, looking to see if that catalyst ends up being a good thing for them. They recently absolutely ate it on the LLY catalyst, Eli Lilly catalyst. So maybe some recovery with the entry into Canada for them to recover off of. So HIMS $52 areas to watch for some possible supports. If 52 doesn't have support, then maybe resistance to short off of, but I'm not that interested to short that name at the moment. VRNA and PTC. VRNA potentially getting bought out for $10 billion market cap, and this stock's market cap right now as of today's close is $7 billion. So there's another $3 billion market cap worth of move left in this stock that could play out. So watching this one for maybe some more news tomorrow. Buyout name obviously going into a new all-time high and trading very, very sideways into that all-time high. Another stock of the same catalyst, PTC, doing the same thing, going into a new all-time high, trading sideways around that all-time high off of a rumor that they could potentially be bought out. So those are the buyout names over there to keep an eye on. Delta Airlines reports tomorrow earnings. And this one has somewhat of a decent trade right here. So breakout of that trend line over here. And currently holding a little bit around that trend line slash above the trend line, above in quotes. But if the report comes out good and we start seeing a move above $52 tomorrow, I think there is an easy move to 200-day moving average, and then maybe some sort of a recovery back above the 200-day moving average coming to DAL. So Delta Airlines, watch this one if it's able to reclaim the $52 area in pre-market. If it's not able to reclaim 52, there is no long at all for the day trade and for the swing trade. If you care to short stocks, then that's your short for the swing trade. CAG, this one I'm giving this one a high priority, high priority signal tomorrow if the stock is able to stay under $20 after the earnings report. So you can see how important this $20 area is. It was from September 2021 till May 2012. The resistance area, the stock was not able to get above the $20 area successfully and have any staying power above 20 for a very long time. It gets above 20 for a little bit, but then it's right back under 20. Eventually breaks 20 to a new all-time high, and then does a similar back and forth volatile range, but it's finding buyers above 20 this time, right? Finding buyers above 20, getting back into all-time high, and then sadly getting back to that $20 area. So what I am seeing on this chart is the opposite of Palantir and SoFi. Granted, this is not the all-time high level or like any significant level of like Palantir, but it's giving me those type of same chart vibes. It's all about patterns. It's showing me that very similar pattern where a previous support level is acting as a support. If you flip that for Palantir, a previous resistance area was acting as a resistance before it broke out to a new nether realm. Not the nether realm, let's say to the stratosphere. But this one, a previous support potentially turning into a new previous support acting as support again, potentially breaking on a negative earnings report and pushing the stock into the nether realm. So watching CAG for a potential breakdown below 20 and then a big short opportunity below 20. Granted, for the day trade, the stock is very boring because the ATR is only 51 cents. So maybe you get $1 move on the earnings report tomorrow. Maybe you get what is it, like $1.50 move tomorrow. But anything more than that is just a gift. I don't think you're getting that intraday. The stock's forward PE is 9. The stock's current PE is 29. So these are also metrics to keep an eye on to see how cheap the stock is. They're profitable, they make money, they have a cheap PE. These are all things that investors look for to buy up stocks instead of selling stocks, right? So if the report is good tomorrow, I'm expecting 20 to hold, and there's your long. If the report is bad tomorrow, I'm expecting 20 to break and for us to have some downside and for us to take advantage of that short downside. So CAG, high priority either way. BMNR set up exactly as I said it should, under $90, and a monster short under $90 in fact. So boom, getting below 92.50, getting below 90, pushing right back into these days lows. Now any pop on BMNR, expecting it to still give you a short opportunity. It will be on SSR day 2 tomorrow, so that means it's going to be harder to get short. You have to wait for the stock to go up to get filled on the short. You cannot just get filled short on the breakdowns by taking out liquidity. You have to offer to get short on this name. So BMNR, I'm hoping we get a pop into 80, into 90. You can see how today's midpoint is somewhere around that area too. So a pop, a gap up, and a test of that area, test of today's VWAP, somewhere in that zone makes that stock a high priority short tomorrow. And the large cap names, I'm not really interested to talk about them at all because there's no trades for me on those names at the moment. Actually, maybe there might be a trade on Google, because Google flushing right back to the downside. There was a news that Perplexity is launching their browser, and OpenAI is going to make the browser also to compete against Google Chrome, compete with Google search engine, and so on. So Google is going to most likely struggle a little bit. They might see their browser share, their search engine share, their search engine revenue go down, and hence you're seeing that reflect in Google's share price at the moment, and obviously affect them quite a bit. So there might be some sort of a trade over here on Google. It's still getting ready for an eventual breakout above 180, and if it does do that, obviously, you know, I'm gonna love it. I'm a pretty big fan of Google. All my products are Google. As most people are Apple fangirls, I'm actually a Google fangirl. Right, I have all Google products, so I'm very much excited. I'm very much excited to see Google start going up back to the north side. But I have no affiliation with Google stock, so I don't care if the stock dies. I'll still be a Google product lover. I don't care if the stock goes to zero. But because I am a trader, because I do like watching stocks go up, I think Google going up around 180 or higher would trigger a long entry for me. So I have an alert over there for now. Meta, you know, expensive name with very low volume, so not really a high priority for a day trade. Doesn't really make me excited to keep an eye on that stock. Microsoft, we already talked about that one. Nvidia, we talked about that one. Amazon is more so for the swing trade, but the day trade does open up on Amazon whenever we get above this 224 area. So you might want to set an alert over there, because once Amazon starts to trade above 224 and successfully starts to hold above 224, there's going to be, I'm expecting a pretty good day trade long. And also today, our friend, maybe I shouldn't say our friend, but Bezos, not today maybe, but overall in general, Bezos ended up selling $666 million worth of Amazon stock recently. So that's why you're seeing Amazon kind of struggle in this area. Whenever Amazon is done, or Bezos is done selling his shares, maybe we do see the blast off on the stock to the upside. The last time it was right around $200 over here. You can see how the stock struggled to get above 200, and then once it got above 200, it just kind of ripped to the north side. It looks like we're in the same conversation again. Bezos is selling shares. Once his sell order is depleted and we get that move to the upside, I think you can't stop the Amazon train. We do have the tariff conversations going on a little bit back and forth, so that might be derailing the train a little bit also. Palantir, we talked about this. Snowflake, let's go take a look at Snowflake really quick. What is Snowflake doing? Not a bad chart. I'm pretty sure that's into all-time high. Ooh, not into all-time high. Beautiful base on the weekly chart here. And getting ready to break out of its 52-week high. Is that the 52-week high? Yes, it is. But just above the 52-week high, you have this. This is why you zoom out when in doubt. So just above the 52-week high, potentially a move on Snowflake from 226 to 240, and then maybe a reject from 240. But once we reclaim 240, things get exciting. This is basically IPO low. The stock has been rejecting IPO low ranges. Once it reclaims IPO low ranges, it's going ballistic missile, ICMB, baby. Is that how you say it? Intercontinental ballistic missile, right? ICBM, ballistic missile. There you go. Intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, is what you're gonna get out of Snowflake if we start having some moves over there. NET, Cloudflare. Let's see how this one's doing at the moment. Let's go to the all-time chart. Ooh, very close to the all-time high, but not really creating a base of any sort. Maybe a little extended also, honestly. 55% away from the 200-day moving average, but looking like it wants to push into the all-time high over there. Just a quick little stock that are apparently building their stage 2 move. For those of you who don't know the 5 stages of a stock, I think we can Just type 5 stages of a stock here, and you can quickly get an example of that chart. Stage 1, stage 2, this is kind of where the Palantir of the worlds are, the Robinhood of the worlds are. Once the stage 2 starts to calm down a little bit, you get the stage 3 consolidation sideways, and then you start getting the stage 4 back down. So sadly, this might be where Palantir is, where Robinhood is heading into, and he's saying Snowflake and ANET. So he's saying actually Palantir most likely getting into stage 3 and stage 4 next, the 4 stages of Stan Weinstein's 4-stage analysis on the stock market. So we'll see if that plays out again for those names. Looks like might be time to stay off on Palantir, like I said, on the swing trading side. Okay, what else is left on my watch list? I think the only thing left, honestly, is SMCI and Tesla. Tesla, there is no swing trading on that one at the moment. If you are bullish on Tesla, then I don't know what to say to you. You are clearly not watching the news channels close enough to know that Tesla is not the name to be bullish on, at least not at the time being, at the short term, because Elon and Trump are not friends again. So we'll see how that plays out. SMCI above $50.55, that opens up a big move. So watching how SMCI does whenever this one goes up. I'm still long SMCI, baby, or actually I have to take a loss and get back in. So I'm watching SMCI for a move above 50.55 to add to my trade. That way I can recoup my losses and turn this into a big winner. So watching SMCI without a doubt for the swing and for the day trade. Given how the market has been moving for the last few days, Monday, Tuesday, meh. Today, not a bad move at all on the market. QQQ, S&P 500, right back to the upside. IWM looking like it wants to launch. The Dow, even though UNH is getting sold again, even though UNH was down today, Dow Jones is trying to go back higher. IWM is trying to go back higher. So I'm not seeing anything too bearish on the market at the moment, with Bitcoin potentially getting ready to blast off. Let's get the party started, baby. Let's get the markets going. I haven't seen a single message in the chat today, so if I am missing any chat, let me know. I'm not even sure if I'm live anymore because I haven't seen a single message in the chat so far. Is anyone even watching? 6 viewers. Okay, that's good. We have 6 viewers so far, but the zero new members today. Sad. No messages at all. I have no clue if I'm even live or not, to be honest. Well, like, not no messages, but messages did come in. It's just like barely any messages afterwards today. Oh, there you go. Now I'm seeing Diter saying, yeah, you live. Okay, so hopefully you guys watched and had nothing to say about, or had no questions, because all the info was explained exceptionally well. All the info was explained exceptionally well, and you know exactly what the game plan is for tomorrow. So if that's the game plan, if that's the story, then you know what? I understand why there were no comments in the chat. Actually, I'm gonna close all my chats now because it's time to call it a night, ladies and gentlemen. It is 9 o'clock. Quickly take a look at the IPO calendar. There is nothing on the IPO calendar that gets me excited. DLXY was an IPO, but very small IPO. Usually I'm not interested in those small IPOs. Last but not least, the econ calendar tomorrow. Again, a pretty boring econ calendar, but I guess that's a good thing. There is one event over here. You guys can finally see my shabby hair. I've been trying to hide my hair in the darkness all day. That's why no lights were on, but now that, god damn it, you know what, we're going dark mode. There we go. Now I can hide my hair again. So, econ calendar, we got a couple things. 30-year bond auction is an important thing. 30-year bond auction is very important. That's at 1 o'clock tomorrow. You got 2 Fed members before the market closes at 1:15 and at 2:30. You got the initial jobless claims at 8:30. So you got a couple events that are important, potentially moving the market. Make sure you're tuning in for that, especially the 30-year bond auction. 3-star events, very important for the market. on that note, ladies and gentlemen, since I have nothing else left to talk about, and since you guys in the chat have no questions for me today, let's call it a night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the final stream of the week. I think tomorrow I'm actually might log in to make some executions, especially if JD looks weak below 31. I might log in tomorrow and make a trade. Tomorrow might be the first trade of the week for me, and I end up making some money. If I did log in today, though, I would have made some money on FUTU potentially. And BMNR shorts were expensive, so maybe my boss would not allow me to pay for the shorts on BMNR. But I would have still, tried to trade that name at the end of the day and then potentially make money or lose money. 100% making money on ARKK if I traded today. 100% making money on ANET if I trade today. So overall, I think I would have made money had I traded today. So tomorrow we'll see if any of the opportunities I talked about set up, and if they do, I might just try to take advantage on those. SMCI 50. That is a big trade. You don't want to miss that one. So set your alerts. Make sure that your alerts are ready, locked and loaded, because whenever that breaks, the stock is getting ready to blast off, baby. And on that, it's GG's. It's good night, good game. Catch you guys Thursday for the final stream of the week. Patty Daddy out. Peace. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here, back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.